review. Book one was all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is the premier state jewelry expert, no other than Mr. Troy Perkins. Welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
everybody. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Mr. Troy at Book One Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Well, yeah, I am a graduate gemologist, and jewelry is one of my passions. I definitely have put all into jewelry over the last 20 years of my career. But now I guess I'm an entrepreneur, and I have a handful of businesses as well, not just inside jewelry. But my main business is platinum1911.com. And I work with hundreds of stores across the country. In fact, next week I'm set up at a trade show in Tucson called GJX, which is one of the gem shows. There's about 40 or 50 going on in the month of January through March every year. I also have two stores at malls called Fast Fix Jewelry and Watch Repair, one at the Scottsdale Fashion Mall and the Chandler Fashion Mall. Sorry, Scottsdale Fashion Square here in Arizona. But passionate about jewelry. I don't even know where to start, but yeah, I have a business degree, a fashion degree from FIT in New York City, and went to UT Austin to start my MBA. Realized I didn't want any more school, and moved to Newport Beach to be a beach bum, and ended up being a personal trainer at a high end gym. And one of my clients was a jeweler, and she hired me to sell jewelry. So I sold new jewelry for about 5 years. And then one of my second cousins, like close friend, was an estate jeweler, Tomas Rodriguez, and he kind of taught me the business about 15 years ago. And I've been in the estate business ever since.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Troy. Thank you. And today, let's talk about how to avoid getting rip-off jewelry secrets from the graduate of gemologies with Mr. Troy. So let's start with the first red flag many people encounter, the incredible deal. For items like fine jewelry, how is it even possible for a seller to offer a legitimate 60% or 70% off sale without losing money? And what is usually the reality behind such claims?
Yeah, I mean, so in general, because I actually went to school for fashion merchandising, which is like retail math. And so there's different psychologies. Obviously, if they're offering 70% off, that means that they marked it up too much in the beginning or a lot more in the beginning. So that's kind of general retail. Some discounters per se have that discount model. That's not one of my philosophies. I really don't like to take off more than 20 or maybe 30%. In the estate world, it's a little different because every piece I have is one of a kind. If I have a piece that's worth $10,000, let's say, if I paid $1 for it, I'm going to make $9,999 because it's worth 10,000. But if I paid 12,000 for it and it's worth 10,000, I'm going to lose 2,000. So I kind of my margins all over the map of what I can make. Obviously, I'm making more money than losing money, but um, that 60 to 70% off, they have marked it up more, and that's a lot of what mall jewelry stores. That's their shtick, or for that's their sale policy. So that's why you see that. Does that make sense? I'm not hearing you. I wonder if it's frozen up here.
Yes.
I see
So
you.
beyond,
There we go.
my apologies. Beyond extreme discounts, what are some of the more subtle tricks sellers use to artificially inflate and piece perceived value before a sale, both in stores and online?
Well, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, everyone's trying to make money. Stores have overhead. There's online sellers that can have less overhead, so they can sell it for a better price. But there are also a lot of scams out there online. I
Mm-hmm.
even see pictures of like a piece of mine that's one of a kind that I need, let's say, $2,500 for, and I see it from Timu for like $1.50. So I know it's just some scam out there. I've also seen Amazon sells, let's say, lab grown diamonds, but they're not. They're actually moissanite or some sort of cubic zirconia.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were the the advice I'd say is, look, find a reputable jeweler. And what how you find a reputable jeweler? It's someone you know that has a word of mouth, that has something to lose. If you have a Google business listing or your Google reviews, go check out the reviews. It doesn't matter that they have a 5 star. It's just when you read the 1 stars, what are people saying? Because my stores, my Fast Fix Jewelry and Watch Repairs, which are franchises that repair jewelry and have a jeweler, we probably have a 4.2 to 4.4 because we get a lot of 1 stars, and it's kind of disgruntled people who wanted something for free. But we get all 5 stars, or we get like 5 5 stars and then 1 1 star. So I just respond to the 1 stars. Hey, sorry, couldn't make you happy. Sorry, you think we're expensive, but we do great work. Um, and so I digress. Check out that reputable jeweler and someone that has something to lose, someone you know, someone that has a name in your town. They're 99% of them, because I work with hundreds across the country. Their goal is to take care of you and sell you something at a fair price.
A fair price for sure. And the blue fluorescent light is a fascinating inside example of you've mentioned. Can you walk us through how the specific light tricks the eye, and what is the environmental tricks should buyers be aware of when evaluating a piece in person?
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily a trick, but yeah, what I suggest. So if you look at my website, I have inside the box or it on a white background shot, and then we do an outside shot, and we don't retouch the color. The reason is gemstones look different in incandescent light, in fluorescent light, and in the sun. So I try and give a view of all of them. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a trick, but if you do have a really dark gemstone, or what would get like a deep call on a lab report, then having a really bright light's going to brighten it up. So that stone at a candlelight dinner is going to look like black, but in the sunlight it's going to look beautiful. So just I guess if I could advise, if you're trying something on, take it out in the sun and wear it inside and see what the gemstone does.
Yes. Interesting, Mr. Troy. So let's talk about the fake spectrum, from the outright fraud to misleading practices. The line between a synthetic stone and a fake can be confusing for consumers. What is the key ethical distinction between buying known lab grown diamond and being sold a cubic zirconia as a natural diamond?
Yes. Okay. So I mean, you have a natural stone, you have a synthetic, and then you have a simulant. So the natural, we all know what that is. It's earth mined. The synthetic stone is the same material as a natural, but it's man made. Then the simulant is a totally different material, but it looks the same. So if you have a natural diamond, you have a man made diamond or lab grown. That is a synthetic, and then a
Mm-hmm.
simulant would be a cubic zirconia. So totally different material. So cubic zirconias have a higher refractive index. They kind of show like an orange flash, and they're super soft. So they don't hold a polish. So for someone like me that's looped with a 10 power loop, I've looked at tens of thousands of stones. I can see the difference between a CZ and a diamond really fast. Um, but how can the consumer? I mean, it takes skill. It's not some. A lot of people get frauded, and people bring me stuff a lot that they swear is a diamond and it's not. So now with the lab to the natural, I can't tell the difference. I have intuition, but I had to buy. I have a $6,500 machine called a Yehuda Sherlock Holmes that I had. It's like a little box. I put the stones in. There's an app on my phone, and that's how confirm if it's natural or lab grown.
So, Mr. Troy, for precious metals like gold, what is the difference between common but legal terms like gold field or gold plated? And what constitutes an outright scam when it comes to metal authenticity?
Yeah, I mean, so one, I'm not a lawyer and I can't give legal advice. I'll give that disclaimer. But in general, gold, the the every country has their own law. But most of the countries that we all recognize, they're going to have either on the carat system. So 100% gold is 24 carat. So the fraction 18 out of 24 or 18 carat would be 75% gold. 14 out of 24 would be 58.5% gold. So those are standard things. If we call it 14 karat, 18 karat, most 14 karat is actually 13 karat, so a little less. Then of course you got 10 karat and a other array of carats. When you get to gold fill or gold plated, then it's of some base metal with a plate. So I would lump those into costume jewelry. So I what the law can say, they shouldn't be able to call it gold without using the filled or plated at the end. But there are confusing things. If the gold has this big long description and it doesn't say 10, 14, 18, or 585 for the 14, 750 for the 18, and so on, then it's plated.
So the composite or glass filled rubies are specific and damaging scam. How does this work and what should buyer ask for avoiding buying a fragile treated stone as a premium price?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of stores are selling glass filled rubies, and I don't want to say like you're by law, the FTC guidelines, you need to disclose, hey, this is glass filled. It is hard to tell. Well, it is and it isn't hard to tell. But basically, if you have an important stone, so a stone that you're paying over a couple thousand, 5,000, 10,000, and up for, it needs to have a lab report. So whether that's the Gemological Institute of America, GIA, or American Gemological Laboratory, AGL, those are the big US ones. There's a bunch overseas as well, from Gublin to GRS to there's a couple Swiss labs too. All those reputable labs, they're going to disclose what any treatment with a ruby.
Mr. Troy, some diamonds treatments like laser drilling are legal but significantly affect value. Where on a diamond certificate can consumer find this critical information and how much should it discount the price?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. Under I forget, on a GIA report, you have the list. On the bottom, it'll say, like, I forget it, characteristics or notes. That's where they put laser drilled. So let's jump into that, because again, that's a great topic that no one really knows about. So if there is a diamond that's included, and some of the inclusions are dark or black, they can put a
Hmm.
microscopic drill hole in and they can suck out the black. So the way it's described in gemology, they improve the apparent clarity. So now that black piece that you used to see is now gone and it's white, which means it looks better. Now, this is a permanent treatment. So once that laser drill hole's in there, like, the stone's completely stable, nothing's going to happen. So I actually think laser drill hole there's nothing really wrong with it. It's almost like a cutting tool when they cut to make the stone look better. There's other treatments like fracture filled, or where they fill the diamond, and that's a polymer that if it gets hot or cleaned in a different certain soap, that'll suck out. So that polymer improves the apparent clarity. But if it goes away, then it looks terrible. So basically, it's not permanent. So I would say laser drilled is not a bad thing if you can save money, but a filled diamond, I would stay away unless you really need to be at that budget.
For the first time buyer, Mr. Troy, the array of Gemological labs like GIA, ICGI, AGS, and many more can be overwhelming. What is the single most important thing a certificate from reputable lab tells you? And what is the common scam involving these documents?
Yeah, I mean, that there's so many labs out there, and I've seen, not to knock certain countries, but over on the other side of the world, there's a lot of labs that just are flat wrong. And just I think it's just a scam. Like whoever's selling it makes their own lab and lies. Um, when you get to the reputable labs, it's still a human making the call, so there is some discrepancy. Again, on important stones, like let's say a sapphire that has a cashmere call, which is a very rare stone, and they command a lot of dollars. You really need multiple lab reports. Like you would need an AGL, you would need maybe a Gublin, you would need maybe a GRS. So you'd want multiple reports all saying the same thing, because GIA may call a stone a Kashmir origin, and AGL may call it a Burma origin. And these places were really close together, or back when there was Pangea, were right next to each other, and now they're different parts of the, or they've separated. But again, I don't know if that answers the question you had.
Yes, you did, Mr. Troy. Social media is flooded with gorgeous jewelry ads from unknown brands. What are the hallmarks of a legitimate online jeweler's website versus a fraudulent pop-up shop and may take your money and disappear?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is, I mean, your credit card, you can dispute it, which is a catch 22, because as a retailer, I get people that they really got my product, and then I still get a dispute. So that's not something I like, or it's frustrating, but that's a protection for the consumer. There's no right or wrong hallmark, and anyways, they could have a picture of a hallmark, and that's not what you actually get. So I think you kind of just got to do your research. I'm a real person, I have a real address. You can look at my site and see, like, I have over 2,000 things up, one of a kind. I mean, nobody can fake what I'm doing at this level. But I know there are the new jewelries popping up every month. Companies, some are real, some are not. Check the Google reviews. You can't really fake Google reviews. Google's pretty on it. In fact, one of my businesses, I'm locked out, and I'm the actual owner. They've made me do videos that are still under review. It's quite frustrating. So I don't. It's real hard to fake Google reviews.
Yes, definitely. So, Mr. Troy, as an entrepreneur as well as gemologist, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Oh man. Well, look, I just Jesus and God first, my family second, and then I work my butt off. And work is play. I got to ski in North Lake Tahoe about a week and a half ago with some other business buddies. Um, but I still get to take the kids to school, every morning, and hang out with family. In fact, when we're done here, I'm going to go make hamburgers for the family and kind of prep some food for the week. But business goals, I mean, I love business. I love helping people. Um, One of the challenges is most people don't want to be helped or don't want to work hard. So that's a big challenge. But I have 18 employees now over my companies. I'm working on a handful of startups this year. So that's stuff that maybe we can talk about in the future. We've got some software based products, and just the way business happens is you find a need and then you solve that need at a value. So I also have a team. We do some consulting with other companies. I'm in the gun business. I'll forget half the stuff, but I'm passionate about helping people make a living too. So I take pride on the 1st and 15th of every month, make sure that payroll goes through and everyone gets paid.
Yes, good luck to your goals, Mr. Troy, and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Well, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate your passion and talking to people. And yeah, you're doing a great job. Thank you, bud.
You're most welcome. And can you please recommend a book or books that influenced your journey?
I mean, How to Win Friends and Influence People was a great book. I mean, lots of books. I know there was like and again, forgive me because I honestly just read a lot of like news and different
Hmm.
articles. I'm not as big of a reader. I did just read Who Moved My Cheese Again. Um, there was like the book, the autobiography of Tesla, of Rockefeller, kind of hearing of what these moguls did, whether you agree or disagree with how they did it. It's great to hear their story. Um, I love Martin Luther, and how he did the Reformation of the church back in the 14th 15th century. That was crazy. So I love kind of that old history is good. And I think as America too, we forget history. I mean, we're like arguing over stuff that we forgot that happened 3 years ago. So it's instead of worrying about what we disagree on, we need to worry about what we agree on and come together as a country.
Well, thank you for the recommended books, Mr. Troy. And the old adage is if you don't know jewelry, know your jeweler. Beyond the online reviews, what are specific credentials like ADS membership or behavior should consumer look for identity a truly trustworthy professional?
Yes.
So, how would this statement for you, Mr. Troy?
Oh, sorry, that was a question. I thought you were giving us him. Yeah, look, I was a member of AGS for years. I'm a GIA graduate gemologist, so I kind of have that. It's like an alumni there. I mean, look, I struggle with seeing the value in some of these companies because they're businesses. So let's just
Hmm.
jump into the Better Business Bureau, and I mean, I know you can pay them off. The same with Yelp. Yelp will hide your good reviews, and only if you advertise will they show them. So I just any of these the Yelp and the BBB I think are scams. I think there's AGS, there's AGTA. I've all been members in the past. I don't want to say I don't care, but like I found the value really not there. But that's just me. Again, if when you have as many different pieces that a jeweler like myself has, uh, nobody sees me and doesn't think I'm real.
Mhm. Yeah, so Mr. Troy, the wedding price premium is known as phenomenon. For someone shopping for engagement ring or a wedding band, what are the practical ways to avoid this markup without compromising on quality?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never heard that term, but and I would maybe push back on that because the bridal market is the most competitive market. So there's so many options for bridal. So I would say that yeah, everyone's trying to fight for that business. I do help a lot of people. I'm not pushing to be a bridal expert, but I definitely do help a lot of people once they want to work with a wholesaler like myself. But I would say, yeah, I mean, just do your research. And with online, you can find a lot of options, do your research, and then buy from a reputable, not Amazon, because Amazon allows anyone to get in. I mean, they say they don't, but there's a lot of scams out there.
They offering everybody. So, Mr. Troy, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please don't listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and of course my book 101 review in sixth season as well, comedy 101 third season, and food 101 in sixth season too. Geography 101 love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 are in fifth season. Science 101, Sex 101 in its fourth season, Trivia 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, and of course, my Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Troy, to wrap up, if you could give just one non-negotiable rule for anyone buying jewelry to avoid getting ripped off, what would it be?
Well, first I'd say find what you love. If this piece of jewelry, what gemstones and jewelry, it's a piece of artwork that you get to wear. So if you love it and fall in love with it, buy it. I would say less buy on dollars. If you're just buying it because it's a good value, but you don't really like it, you're never going to wear it. So
Hmm.
buy something that you love that you're going to wear and get use out of.
Definitely use it, people. Use it. And Mr. Troy Perkins, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And I'm inviting you to be my guest on Entrepreneurship 101, and let's talk about entrepreneurship mindset. For sure, I will invite you, and let's talk about again your business itself. So, Mr. Troy, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, again, go check out platinum1911.com. If you're interested in jewelry, you can reach out to us. We do have a by appointment only showroom in Scottsdale, Arizona. Also, you can check out fastfixarizona.com. We're working on products for that, but we've got locations at the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall and the Chandler Fashion Mall. We've been there 20 years. We have jewelers in house with lasers and do excellent repair work, sizing. We also do appraisals. Also, buying a lot of gold. If you have gold to sell, you can ship it into me or come in and schedule an appointment. We're again we're buying a ton. We also buy and sell bullion, gold coins, silver coins. If you watched, silver and gold have done crazy things. So I'm here to help any way you need in your jewelry, precious metals, bullion, appraisals, any way we can help. Repairs. Thank you.
Yes, yes, definitely, people. Let's support Mr. Troy Perkins because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering business like this to rise. So, Mr. Troy, are you available online too? Of those people are watching or listening all over the world, they can order online.
Yes, they can order at platinum1911.com.
Yes, definitely, people. They are offering online purchases. So, Mr. Troy Perkins, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thanks, Daniel. Appreciate you, man.
Bodycon people, see you soon. Likewise, Mr. Troy, likewise. And looking forward for